If you're new here, welcome to That Stone Home. This Georgian manor house has stood the test of time for 250 years, surviving generations of history. Today, I'm taking you outside to explore the grounds and gardens of That Stone Home. So let's explore.
Hello, welcome back to part 3 of the tour of That Stone Home. Today's tour is going to be all around the outside. The house itself is 8 bedrooms and 250 years old, and she's very grand. So come with me whilst I take you on the tour of the outside. We'll start over here, the main house. As you can see, there's 5 windows there. We have the dining room, the front door, the drawing room, master bedroom. This is the landing. This is the spare bedroom, which mirrors that bedroom. Over here, you can see a flat roof extension onto the side of the house. This flat roof extension was built in about the 70s, and that holds our kitchen. Over here, garages, and up here, a very protected tree. Now, the gardens here are something that's really impressive. So it sits on just over an acre, or just under an acre. And the gardens are very mature. So our driveway goes onto the main road that way even. And it's a very mature garden. Over here, I'll turn it around so you can see. But over here, we've got a lovely little seating area with some, again, great trees. You will notice the bunting that is still up from my birthday party, but the lawn in relatively good condition, if not a little bit dry. This little bit of woodland is around 5 meters deep, so gives us all the privacy that we need. And over here you'll see the 2 huge Irish yews. Back to the house. Here we've got a conservatory / greenhouse type attachment onto the building. There is a lot of foliage outside the bottom, and you can see the render. Actually, the paint is falling off at the moment, which needs fixing. All down here, gorgeous flowers, some huge lilies ready to come out. But this is the outside. This is pretty hideous. It's very weak structured, single brick, single glazed, as we are obviously in a conservation area. However, that then follows round to the morning room. So if you remember from my last tour, the morning room was a Victorian addition to the house. The sun rises here, goes all the way around, down, setting over there, which means in the morning, this gets all the sun. In the evening, the greenhouse / conservatory gets all the sun. Again, you'll see really mature gardens all across, and also some festoon lights left over from my birthday. We need to fix the roses. They've fallen off the wall. Obviously, being in a walled garden is absolutely gorgeous, but it needs a bit of TLC over here. Not quite sure what's happened over here, but something has flattened all them. So I'm hoping it's not a huge bear, not that we get those in the UK. Over here, we have some more trees, so the Irish yews. A little bit of crazy paving, as I think it was once called. But again, needs a little bit of TLC over here as we come over into the aces. And then little bits of secluded trees. So we have got a little oak tree that was gifted to us as a housewarming present. And there's another tree over here. Again, so secluded and so great to have all this space. There's the house hiding in the background. Okay, so let's go round the back. That's our robot lawnmower, the real trim shady. And we've got a little outhouse here. And yes, guess what? Another extension. So as we go through into the back garden, I thought I would add a little bit of context to what's going on at the back. So this is the back garden. Over here, little outhouse that we keep a few bits in, really, nothing of anything exciting. And then over here, they've created, again, a really mature garden that needs a little bit of TLC. We give it a full strip back within winter to see what grows, because we didn't want to do anything to the garden until we found out what was growing. And, you know, the real maturity of this garden is the absolute dream. Over here, you can see the back of the house. So I'll give you a full look around in a second. But at the moment, yeah, it's pretty messy. And so we have, if you see, we've only got one real little tiny door just here onto the back garden, and very little amount of windows, which is really sad. So this 70s, we assume, extension goes off the morning room and off the main house and attaches onto the main house via the offices and downstairs toilet. Now these, we assume this bottom bit of extension was built around the early 1900s, and then the top extension was built in the 1970s. You can see some expanding foam where we had a bee infestation, so we're trying to block the bees from getting back in. But you'll also notice lots and lots of cracks everywhere. The extension here has different foundations to the main house. The main house has a cellar. This part of the house does not have a cellar. So there's an imbalance between the extensions. So when this was then added onto the top, before building regs were a thing and before the house was listed, it's pulled away from the rest of the house, which, as you can imagine, isn't great. So that is our first job on the renovation, is to make the house structurally sound once again. Hopefully that's getting started soon. Anyway, back to the rest of the house. Have some lovely apple or pear trees, can't remember what they are. And then you'll see another extension onto the house. Come with me. We did, believe it or not, we did tidy all this up about a month or two ago. And it's just been very, very wet and very sunny. So everything has grown with abundance. So I'm just going to take you through this little part of the house, which takes us, when it unlocks, which then takes us onto the back of the house. So here, again, another extension to the house, which is a double-storey extension. And pretty well built, actually, but we assume it at some point would have been some form of warehouse, which then also leads onto this massive chimney, which inside is a fully working bread oven. We have two garages over here, which, as you can probably tell if you know anything about building, full of asbestos roofing slates. But as you can see over here, again, a bit of a higgledy-piggledy mess, but we have all this space here. That's the neighbour's car parked on our spot. But yes, all this space up here. So these, a little bit of a surprise. But follow me as we walk round back to the front of the house to show you what else we have. Now, this is a shared driveway, as the house that you can see behind us was actually built by the owners of our house originally as a bungalow for their grandparents. So the grandparents were able to live within the grounds of the house, which was, obviously lovely. And they've done it really well. They have, kept up with all the forestry around, which is great. I'll take you on a quick little tour through into our little courtyard where we keep the bins. Right here, little courtyard. So we have little tradesman's toilet, but actually done quite nicely with lots of tiles, electricity, nice clean toilet, not necessarily clean floor because they're impossible to get clean. But yeah, comes in a lot of use, especially doing a refurb and renovation. And then under here, they've made it plastic so you can actually dry your clothes when it's raining, which is great. And then it takes you to the back of the 70s extension. And if you remember, the bread oven, just there. Doesn't get much sun in here, but this is mint and it smells delicious. And that pretty much finishes and ends the tour of that stone home. So what I will say is, please give me any ideas that you want to see. I just keep doing tours at the moment, but it'd be great to understand everything that you want to see from the channel. All 30 of you that watch the videos at the moment. But yes, don't forget I'm going to point down here, I'm over here, to like, subscribe, and comment, and share, and spread the love, and help me get this renovation partially funded by YouTube views, or TikTok views, maybe even some Facebook and Instagram views. Ciao for now.